Hi everyone, this is Sean from Marriage in the Making here. I have spoken a little bit before in the past about the importance of our speech, but I thought I'd just share a little more about that in this video. So the idea being that we are created in the image of God, and He spoke to frame things or create things. Like for example in the beginning where He says, "Let there be light." And what happens? Light has to be created. And of course push back the darkness and get spread all about the place. So everything that God creates in Genesis 1, you'll see Him speaking it out first, and then that's what has to happen through Jesus. Everything gets created. So because we are made in His image, that's the same idea for us. So if you take that a little further with regards to marriage, it's important for us to be speaking out things. If we don't have a marriage partner yet, speaking out a marriage partner that's going to come into our life, and being positive and encouraging in that regard. If we're already married, we can be praying that our marriage is going to get even better, and that God's going to help us to be the best possible marriage that we can have. So lots of examples of this speaking out that you see. Jesus, when it comes to healing, for example, the Roman centurion's servant who was badly sick. If you remember, the Roman centurion came to him and just said to Jesus, "Just say the word and my servant will be healed," which is, and Jesus is amazed by that kind of faith. And then there's another example that I'm going to read out from Mark chapter 7 here. It's about the Syrophoenician woman who's coming to ask Jesus to deliver her daughter from a demonic spirit. So it starts in verse 24. From there, Jesus arose and went to the region of Tyre and Sidon, and He entered a house and wanted no one to know it, but He could not be hidden. For a woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard about Him, and she came and fell at His feet. The woman was a Greek, a Syrophoenician by birth, and she kept asking Him to cast the demon out of her daughter. But Jesus said to her, "Let the children be filled first, for it's not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs." And she answered and said to Him, "Yes, Lord, yet even the little dogs under the table eat from the children's crumbs." Then He said to her, "For this saying, go your way, the demon has gone out of your daughter." And when she had come to her house, she found the demon had gone out, and her daughter lying on the bed. So Jesus is responding to her faith and desire for her daughter to be healed and set free, and responds saying, basically, because of what you've said and how you've demonstrated your faith to me, the demon has gone from your daughter. He was nowhere near this woman's house, nowhere near the daughter in question, and just by speaking out the word, she's healed and set free. So it's hugely powerful when we speak things out, either positively in a godly way, or negatively partnering with the enemy or the world of the flesh. So if you're still unconvinced about the power of our words, I want to show you this little clip from Japanese Dr. Emoto, who did a number of experiments about speaking stuff over, particularly with things related to water. So here you go.
Dr. Emoto has conducted another interesting experiment. He placed rice into 3 glass beakers and covered it with water. And then every day for a month, he said, "Thank you" to one beaker, "You're an idiot" to the second, and the third one he completely ignored. After 1 month, the rice that had been thanked began to ferment, giving off a strong, pleasant aroma. The rice in the second beaker turned black, and the rice that was ignored began to rot. Dr. Emoto thinks that this experiment provides an important lesson, especially with regard to how we treat children. We should take care of them, give them attention, and converse with them. Indifference does the greatest harm.
May tell some dreamy story, but almost.
So from that experiment, you can see just the power of words depending what type of words you speak, or even in the case of not speaking any words at all, and what, you know, the damage that that can also cause too. So the idea being that because we're created in the image of God, like I've already said, we're to speak out things because God speaks out things, and that frames things or forms things that start to manifest or start to be shown in our natural world. So the key is to get into relationship with God, get into his presence, start to find out what his heart is for things, and to start speaking them out. So if you're not married, get into his presence and start to get a sense of what it's going to be like to be married and his heart for you to be married, and start speaking out in agreement with that. And if you're already married, then come into prayer, into place of prayer, or into his presence, and be imagining what, or allow the Lord to show you just how great your marriage can be, and then be speaking that kind of stuff out as well. So in whatever situation it is, I mean, I've just obviously talked in terms of marriage, but it could be, you know, you could use this kind of idea with an awful lot of things. But what you're trying to do is see what your Father in heaven is doing, and do likewise by speaking it out here on the earth. Yeah? Okay. Thanks for listening.